Chosen one, listen closely. This is not a coincidence. You didn't stumble on this message by chance. Your eyes landed here because heaven orchestrated it. Something has shifted in the spiritual realm, and you were pulled into this moment with divine precision. Right now, not yesterday, not tomorrow, you are standing in a sacred threshold. God Himself has placed you here because tonight, yes, tonight, something is going to happen that will change the trajectory of your life forever. Tonight, heaven will descend upon you in a way you have never experienced. Not metaphorically, literally. The glory of God is about to overtake your atmosphere, your body, your soul. You will not be paralyzed by fear or despair. You will be paralyzed by glory. You will find yourself unable to move, not because you're broken, but because divine presence is too heavy for your natural frame to carry in motion. You are about to be held, still not by weakness, but by sacred weight. This is not a message for everyone. It is for you. You have been marked, set apart, chosen. Only those who carry the imprint of destiny will understand what is happening to you. The pressure you've been feeling, the invisible warfare, the weariness in your spirit, it's all been building to this very hour. Heaven is about to interrupt your life, and to receive what's coming, your body must become still. You may feel frozen tonight, but don't be afraid. The Spirit of the Lord is upon you, and He's not coming to visit. You're about to be overtaken. What's coming is not a seasonal shift. It's a total life shift. Everything you've cried out for, fasted for, begged God to do, it's here. The delays are ending. The attacks are reversing. But first, God must still your body long enough to deliver the blueprint. You cannot receive a divine instruction while moving at human pace. That's why tonight is holy. That's why your body feels heavy, your limbs unmotivated, your energy suspended. This is not a shutdown. It's a heavenly lockdown. You are under spiritual arrest, not by force, but by divine order. You've tried to push through. You've tried to move like you usually do, but something inside you is locking you in place. And deep down, you know it's not natural. You know this is different. You are not broken. You are not lazy. You are not tired. You are being held. God has paused your body because your next level cannot be accessed with your old patterns. You're not allowed to keep moving the way you did before. That version of you is no longer compatible with where God is taking you. If this word is for you, comment 77. Heaven has arrested me, and I receive this sacred shift. This isn't just a message, it's a divine confirmation. Writing it is your agreement with heaven. You're not stuck. You're being still for glory. Say it, type it, seal it. Understand this clearly. This is not punishment. This is preservation. You are not being stopped because you're failing. You are being paused because your future requires a new internal structure. The world is shifting. Spiritual violence is breaking loose globally. Energies are being disrupted on cosmic levels, and God in His mercy has pulled you out of motion not to harm you, but to prepare you. Because you're not meant to be a bystander in this era. You are being activated as a divine responder. And to do that, everything in you must be rewired. C.S. Lewis, in The Problem of Pain, wrote, God whispers to us in our pleasures, speaks in our consciences, but shouts in our pains. It is His megaphone to rouse a deaf world. This truth illuminates the purpose of your divine pause. The stillness you feel is not a sign of abandonment, but a divine shout, a megaphone through which God is restructuring your soul for the battles and blessings ahead. Your halted motion is not a setback. It is a sacred preparation, ensuring you are equipped for the cosmic shifts that demand a new, unshakable foundation. So yes, your body may feel numb. Your mind may feel distant. You may be asking, why can't I move? But the answer is this: you are not stuck. You are being still by decree. Stillness is not weakness. It is a holy holding. God is silencing the noise so He can reconstruct you at the root. Your old rhythm no longer fits the frequency of your future. You're not malfunctioning. You're being redesigned. You may not be building anything with your hands tonight. You may not be crossing things off your to-do list. But trust, this heaven is building you. This work can only happen in stillness. The old survival responses, the trauma, reflexes, the people-pleasing patterns, they're all being dismantled. Because where you're going, you'll need spiritual firepower, emotional stability, and mental clarity like never before. You can't get that by running harder. You'll only get it by surrendering completely to this divine pause, to this sacred silence, to this holy operation. What you are feeling tonight is not exhaustion, and it is not burnout. This isn't a medical condition. It isn't emotional fatigue. It's not something that can be explained by logic or fixed with rest. You are not merely tired, you are under divine sedation. The Spirit of God has placed you under spiritual anesthesia because He is performing an internal operation that no words could ever reach. He is working beneath your thoughts, deeper than your emotions, past the layers of memory and muscle. This is not about healing wounds anymore. This is about complete reconstruction. God is inside your nervous system, inside your brain, inside your very cells. He is speaking to your biology. The tiredness you feel is not weakness. It's the stillness required for sacred work. There is trauma buried so deep in your body that even your own mind doesn't remember it. But God never forgot. And now, in this holy moment, He is shutting down your conscious functions so He can extract the roots of dysfunction. You are not malfunctioning. You are being reprogrammed. Your adrenaline system is being flushed. Your fear reflexes are being disarmed. Your emotional rhythms are being recalibrated. God is not tweaking the old you. He is replacing every corrupted line of code with something unshakable. This is not just inner healing. This is spiritual surgery. You're not simply being repaired. You are being remade. When you rise from this, you will not feel like you had a breakthrough. You will feel like you were rebooted. You won't just be inspired, you'll be different. Not motivated, but upgraded. The things that used to drain you will no longer hold power. The reactions you used to default to will not activate. That's because God is replacing the operating system that was built in trauma with a new one, built in peace. Tonight, God is pulling the plug on everything that once kept you surviving, so He can install the system that will help you start thriving. You've flinched too many times. You've braced for attack too many times. You've had to perform, to push, to pretend. But that ends tonight. The way you breathe, the way you feel, the way you respond to life, it's all changing. What's happening to you now is not dramatic, it's divine. You're not losing control. You're gaining alignment. You are being paused, so heaven can upload what your soul has been crying out for: divine patience, supernatural peace, unshakable inner authority. These are not ideas. They are spiritual components, and they are being installed in your body tonight. This is why you feel strange. This is why you can't explain it. Because this isn't about thoughts or feelings. This is about your soul being brought back into divine order. You are not falling apart. You are falling into place. C.S. Lewis in Mere Christianity wrote, "It may be hard for an egg to turn into a bird. It would be a jolly sight harder for it to learn to fly while remaining an egg." We are like eggs at present, and you cannot go on indefinitely being just an ordinary decent egg. We must be hatched or go bad. Your current stillness is the cracking of the shell, the painful but necessary process of transformation. To remain in your old patterns, to cling to survival mode, is to risk spiritual decay. This divine pause is God's way of ensuring you hatch into the fullness of your purpose, ready to soar with a new, unshakable foundation. The truth is, you've been carrying too much for too long. Time didn't just age your body, pain did. Stress altered your hormones. Grief stiffened your muscles. Fear exhausted your cells. But you were never created to live in constant inner warfare. So now God is doing more than healing. He's reversing. He's restoring what was stolen, not just in spirit, but in your very biology. Tonight, the Spirit of God is reaching into your bones, your joints, your bloodstream, the fog in your mind, the tension in your back, the ache in your chest. He sees it all. And He's healing you at the molecular level. Your strength is coming back. Your youth is being renewed like the eagle. You are not just recovering, you are resurrecting. This restoration is not a momentary high. It is not a burst of motivation. This is a restart, a supernatural cellular spirit-led restart. The body that has known chronic pressure is about to know divine power. You will walk again not with adrenaline but with holy energy. You are not being inspired, you are being remade. And when you stand again, nothing about your presence will feel the same. This is not just about your spirit anymore. God is taking over your biology. Chosen one, listen carefully. God has not merely slowed you down. He has stopped you completely on purpose. You are not in a pause because life overwhelmed you. You are in a divine standstill because heaven is performing a complete internal overhaul. Every part of you, mind, body, and spirit, has been deemed too valuable, too precise, too essential for what's coming, for God to allow you to continue operating on outdated patterns. So He has interrupted you. You are not being ignored. You are being restructured. Right now, it may feel like everything in you is frozen. You try to move like you used to, but your body refuses. You try to push through mentally, but your thoughts feel like fog. And no matter how much you pray for energy, clarity, or progress, it just doesn't come. That's not failure. That's not fatigue. That is divine interference. God has stepped in and taken control of the system you once relied on, because that system built in survival cannot carry the assignment birthed in fire. Your old reflexes were shaped by pain. Your old rhythms were built around pressure. Your old strategies were designed to survive dysfunction, but now you are no longer being trained for survival. You are being prepared for dominion, and dominion requires reconfiguration. You are not allowed to drag dysfunction into destiny. That's why God has shut you down. That's why your strength is on pause. He is disconnecting you from every faulty system you used to lean on, so that when you rise, you will not return to default. You will walk in design. God has not immobilized you to frustrate you. He has paused you so He can program into you something that wasn't possible when you were constantly moving. Stillness is now your sacred sanctuary. What you perceive as inactivity is actually sacred architecture taking place within. Your emotions are being rewired. Your instinctive reactions are being reprogrammed. Your nervous system is being reset. He's not modifying you. He's rebuilding you. Every part of you that used to panic in pressure is being rewritten. Every tendency to overthink, to overexplain, to overperform, it's being silenced. He is removing the addiction to movement, the compulsion to fix, the instinct to please. All of these were strategies that helped you survive seasons of pain, but they do not belong in the next season of power. So God is cleansing them from your system, not with noise, but with holy stillness. That's why you feel heavy. That's why it seems like you're suspended between two worlds, because you are no longer who you were, and you are not yet who you're becoming. You are in between forms. This is metamorphosis. This is the sacred cocoon between assignment and authority. God is closing the door on your old nature, so He can build into you the kind of spirit that does not collapse under glory. Let this truth anchor you. You are not being delayed. You are being prepared. You are not being forgotten. You are being upgraded. You are not falling behind. You are being fastened to a new foundation. This isn't paralysis. It is precision. This isn't punishment. It is positioning. So do not panic. Do not rush. Do not fight the stillness. Let the divine hands that created galaxies now reshape you in silence. Let heaven finish what it started. Because when this rewiring completes, when this sacred system stabilizes, you will not return to the life you knew. You will carry authority in your words, clarity in your thoughts, and stillness in your presence. and the world will know God didn't just touch you. He rebuilt you. Chosen one, do not mistake this stillness for punishment. This is not a consequence of failure. It is a strategy of love. God has not shut you down because something is wrong with you. He has shut you down because something is right. Something in you is too sacred, too necessary, too entwined with His future plans to risk being damaged by misalignment. What feels like divine silence is actually divine preservation. You are being hidden not from purpose but for purpose. There are moments in the life of the chosen where God does not explain, He shields. Where He does not announce, He isolates. Where He does not accelerate, He arrests. You are in one of those moments now. You are being held back from momentum because your inner foundation must be reinforced. The places where you've grown in gifting but still leaked in discipline, He's sealing them. The places where you've matured in voice but fractured in vision, He's realigning them. The cracks in your structure, the weaknesses in your response, the patterns you didn't even know were still rooted in fear, all of it is being addressed in silence. C.S. Lewis in the Screwtape Letters wrote, "The safest road to hell is the gradual one, the gentle slope, soft underfoot, without sudden turnings, without milestones, without signposts." This divine pause is your milestone, your signpost preventing you from drifting down the subtle path of misalignment. The stillness you experience is not a trap, but a divine intervention, a safeguard ensuring that you do not carry old patterns of fear or dysfunction into the destiny God has prepared. Embrace this pause as a marker of God's protection, guiding you toward a path of unshakable purpose. God isn't stopping you because you're disqualified. He's stopping you because your next assignment will demand more than your current capacity can carry. And instead of letting you run ahead and collapse under the pressure He has called a holy halt, He's not silencing you to humiliate you. He's silencing you to fortify you. You've walked through seasons where progress was the measure of worth, where movement felt like validation, where stillness felt like failure. But heaven doesn't measure like man does. God isn't concerned with how fast you rise. He is focused on how deep your roots are. You're not being overlooked. You're being secured. He is placing stakes around your soul, digging deeper, anchoring tighter, because the glory you're called to carry will require a structure that cannot be moved. Yes, this silence feels like exile. Yes, the stillness feels like separation. But it's not abandonment. It's alignment. You have been separated not for shame, but for sacred recalibration. There are forces rising in the world, spiritual storms, global shakings, cosmic unrest, and God in His mercy is preparing you before they arrive. He's not reacting, He's preemptively protecting. You are being reinforced in this stillness because He knows what's coming, and He intends for you not just to survive it, but to be a solution within it. This pause is your shield. This silence is your training. This stillness is your preservation. And when it's over, you won't just return stronger, you'll return unshakable. Chosen one, do not let your mind lie to you. You are not stuck. You are not trapped. You are not lost in confusion or delay. You are being held deliberately, divinely, and tenderly by the hand of the Almighty. There is nothing accidental about this pause. It is not weakness that has quieted you. It is not fear that has slowed you. You have been stopped by heaven because the direction of your life must now shift with holy precision. Right now, it may feel like you're hovering between movement and meaning, between activity and clarity. Your muscles want to move, but your spirit tells you to stay. Your mind wants to plan, but your soul is silent. And in that silence, something deeper is happening, something your conscious mind cannot explain, but your spirit can feel. You are being held in divine restraint. Not all restraints are prisons. Some are sanctuaries. God has surrounded you with stillness not to isolate you, but to insulate you. He is guarding the transformation taking place inside you. Like a surgeon protecting the operating room, He has closed every outer door so that what is being worked on within you cannot be contaminated. The stillness that frustrates your flesh is the same stillness that is healing your spirit. You are not abandoned. You are surrounded. God is not ignoring you. He is covering you. And in this covering, your soul is learning how to breathe again without anxiety, how to listen again without noise, how to exist again without performing. You have entered the sacred space where striving ends and surrender begins. The pressure to prove, to rush, to fix it's falling off of you, because God has no use for your hustle in this moment. He only wants your stillness. He only wants your yes. You may be asking, why can't I feel motivated? Because God doesn't need your motivation right now. He needs your surrender. You may wonder, why do I feel disconnected from everything I used to care about? Because the old passions were tied to an old path. The fire of your future can't be lit by the fuel of your past. So he's stripping it all away, not to leave you empty, but to make room for something pure, something permanent. This is not the paralysis of failure, it is the preservation of glory. And when the time comes, when heaven says, move again, you will not rise in confusion. You will rise in clarity. You will not walk with the same weight. You will walk with fire. You will not speak the way you did before. Your voice will carry power, quiet, stable, undeniable power, chosen one. What's happening inside you right now is not something that medicine can measure or psychology can define. This is not fatigue. This is not depression. This is not some emotional collapse. You are not broken. You are under spiritual operation. God is performing surgery on your innermost being, and he's doing it without a scalpel. This is why your body feels strange, why your mind feels foggy, why your energy has dropped, even though you've rested. It's why you feel like you're drifting between waking and dreaming, because you are not simply asleep and you are not fully awake. You're in between realms. Heaven has placed you under holy anesthesia. The Holy Spirit is sedating your flesh to reach places your conscious mind cannot touch. He's not fixing the surface. He's going to the root. He's inside your nervous system, your muscle memory, your hormonal responses, your cellular memory. He's speaking to your mitochondria. He's commanding your body to release the stress it has stored for years, the tension you've carried in your shoulders, the racing thoughts you've battled in silence, the ache in your chest that had no name. It all came from trauma that your mind suppressed, but your body remembered. Now God is releasing it. This is not motivational recovery. This is divine reconstruction. God isn't asking you to breathe through it. He's taking the breath for you. He's not telling you to push harder. He's silencing everything inside of you so he can rebuild you from the inside out. He's rewiring your stress responses. He's flushing your adrenaline system. He's deactivating the alarms that have been ringing in your spirit since childhood. He knows you've survived too long, and survival built instincts in you that don't belong in your future. Flinching, people-pleasing, emotional shutdown, over-explaining, numbness, rage, fear of being seen, fear of being still, fear of being vulnerable. These are not just habits, they are deeply embedded defense mechanisms that God is now extracting. You are not sleeping, you are under. You are not lazy. You are being silenced by heaven, so the operation can be completed in holy stillness. There is no need to perform, no need to fight. This is not your battle. This is heaven's healing. And when it's done, you will wake up changed. Not just in spirit, but in body. Your energy will return, but not as anxiety-fueled drive. It will return as divine power. You will be able to walk again without the weight of panic in your chest. You'll be able to think clearly without spiraling. You will notice your own peace. Your body will feel like a temple, not a battlefield. Your presence will carry rest. God is doing all of this, not through hype, not through noise, but through silence. Because some healing is too sacred to announce. Some breakthroughs are too holy to dramatize. And what's happening in you now is one of them. You are being operated on by the Creator himself. You are not under attack. You are under transformation. So let your body be still. Let your thoughts quiet. Let heaven finish what it has started, because when you rise, the surgery will be complete, and the world will meet a version of you that has never existed before. Chosen one, when you wake from this divine stillness, you will not simply feel refreshed, you will feel reborn. This is not a motivational reset. This is a full internal rewiring. You will not rise with hype or adrenaline. You will rise with a new internal architecture, subtle, unshakable, and supernatural. God is not giving you inspiration. He is giving you an entirely new operating system. This is why nothing feels normal. This is why your habits feel foreign. Why your emotions seem quiet yet intense. Why you feel both empty and full at the same time. Because you're not waking up to the old world, you're waking up to a new you. The one who reacts from wounds has been put to rest. The one who performs to earn love has been deactivated. The one who fears silence, who flinches at confrontation, who spirals into overthinking they are no longer in control. God is not coaching your old self into better behavior. He's not asking your pain to do better. He's silencing the voices of dysfunction completely and replacing them with divine intelligence. You will begin to notice your mind no longer racing to defend itself, your thoughts no longer grasping for approval, your body no longer bracing for invisible danger. You're not forcing peace anymore. Peace is now your baseline. Heaven is installing something deeper than motivation command. You won't be striving to get yourself out of survival mode. Survival mode is gone. You won't be begging your body to cooperate. Your body is being synced with your spirit. Your cells are now responding to divine rhythm. Your heartbeat is no longer tethered to fear. It's aligned with purpose. And when you speak, it won't be from emotional overflow. It will be from anchored truth. You won't need to prove you're strong. You will simply move in strength. You won't feel the need to explain your value. Your presence will carry the weight of it. Your inner world is being rebuilt so that your outer world will no longer define you. You'll notice it first in the small things, how you breathe, how you rest, how you answer questions, how you sit in silence without needing to fill it. Then it will begin to surface in bigger ways. You'll walk into rooms and shift the energy without trying. You'll face confrontation and feel calm. You'll wake up with direction without planning. These are not subtle improvements. They are the aftershocks of a complete spiritual and neurological reset. You will move through life no longer led by instinct or reaction, but by revelation. The triggers you once tiptoed around will lose their power. The panic that used to grip your stomach will dissolve. The lies that echoed in your mind will go silent. This is not you becoming stronger, it's you becoming real. The version of you that God designed before the world touched you is finally being restored. You won't rise from this experience as someone healed from the past. You will rise as someone equipped for the future. Chosen one, hear this clearly. You are not breaking down, you are being shut down by divine hands. What you're experiencing is not collapse. It's not exhaustion. It's not mental overload or emotional failure. This is not burnout. This is a sacred shutdown ordered by heaven itself to prepare you for a future. Your old self could never survive. You are not falling apart because you're weak. You are being powered down because something in you has completed its cycle. The operating system that once kept you running, driven by fear, anxiety, constant urgency, and old programming, is no longer compatible with where you are going. And God, in His mercy, is not waiting for you to crash. He has chosen to shut you down on His terms so He can rebuild you on His timeline. This is why you feel like nothing makes sense. Why your usual habits feel disconnected. Why your go-to routines bring no clarity. Because the infrastructure you once lived by is being deconstructed piece by piece. Your thoughts, your motivations, your assumptions, everything that helped you function in old environments is being unraveled. Not to weaken you, but to purify your foundation. You've been asking for clarity, for purpose, for spiritual authority, and God is answering not with words, but with silence. not with momentum, but with stillness. Because true clarity doesn't come when you rush toward answers. It comes when every part of you stops long enough to be emptied, recalibrated, and filled with the voice of the Spirit. Right now, God is not just slowing you down, He is overriding your inner engine. He is interrupting your autopilot. Every tendency to hustle through healing, to produce through pain, to keep moving, to avoid feeling it, is all being arrested. You are not meant to keep living like that. That speed was survival. Now you are being summoned into stability. You've mistaken stillness for failure because the world taught you that value is measured by productivity. But heaven measures differently. God is not impressed by how much you accomplish. He's concerned with how much of Him you carry. And to carry Him, you must first be emptied of everything that mimicked Him but wasn't Him. You must be cleansed of striving, of fear-based faith, of noise dressed as progress. So let yourself be powered down. Let the systems go quiet. Let the doing cease. Because in this sacred shutdown, something holy is rising. Beneath the numbness, beneath the fog, beneath the silence, you are being reformed into a vessel that will no longer react to pressure, but carry glory. This isn't burnout. This is the beginning of becoming. Chosen one. What's happening inside of you is not only spiritual, it is physical. God is not just touching your soul, He is transforming your body. Right now, His presence is flowing through your nervous system, through your bloodstream, through your very cells. You may feel heavy. You may feel numb. You may feel like you're vibrating inside or weighed down from head to toe. But this is not a malfunction. This is divine light integrating with your biology. The shakiness, the stillness, the strange inner buzz. This is your body responding to the frequency of heaven. You are being overtaken by glory, and your flesh does not know how to interpret it. But your spirit does. Your spirit recognizes this moment because it was written into your timeline long before you were born. God is fulfilling a sacred promise, and it is touching not just your soul, but your bones, your muscles, your organs, your mind. He's reaching into places no doctor could touch, deep into your immune system, your hormone regulation, your stress hormones, your brain chemistry. The insomnia, you've battled the brain fog, you've carried the tightness in your chest, the aches in your spine. These are not just symptoms of stress, they are the echoes of warfare. And now, God is reversing the effects. This is not symbolic, this is real. You are being recalibrated on a cellular level. What was damaged by fear is being healed by light. What was dulled by grief is being reignited by glory. The energy that once scattered in panic is now being gathered with purpose. Your mitochondria are receiving instruction. Your joints are being released from tension. Your heartbeat is learning how to trust peace again. This is divine biology, a complete restoration of what was once hijacked by trauma. And no, this isn't adrenaline. This isn't a temporary surge. This is not the kind of energy that fades in the morning. What's being infused into you is not from this world. It's supernatural. It's eternal. It's the life force of God moving through flesh, healing the temple He created with His own breath. You're not malfunctioning. You're being made new. You're not losing control. You're receiving true order. You're not slowing down. You're being synchronized with divine time. This is not just healing. It is divine infusion. And once this integration completes, your body will not carry the same pain. Your brain will not repeat the same storms. Your soul will not echo the same fatigue. You will walk in strength, not imagined strength, not emotional hype, but the real, tangible, God-activated power that flows through both mind. Chosen one, what you are experiencing right now is not isolated. This is not just about you. Yes, God is working deeply and personally in your spirit, in your body, and in your mind. But make no mistake, this operation is part of something much larger. What's happening inside of you is synchronized with something cosmic, something global, something kingdom-wide. You are not just being transformed. You are being activated as evidence. Across the earth there are others like you, set apart, marked, awakened in silence, summoned without warning. You are not the only one. Feeling the stillness descend, you are not the only one experiencing this holy weight. From nation to nation, behind closed doors, in bedrooms, in secret prayer closets, in silent hospital rooms, others are feeling it too. The hush of heaven, the pressure of glory, the pull into stillness. And it's not random, it's a deployment. Heaven is calling its chosen ones into sacred stillness to prepare them for a mass release of truth, authority, and spiritual governance on the earth. You are not being paused for rest. You are being positioned for power. While others chase platforms, noise, and visibility, you are being tuned like an instrument, subtle, precise, unshakable. You are not being pushed forward. You are being drawn inward because the sound God wants to release through you must first be forged in silence. You are being converted into a conduit, a spiritual tuning fork, a lightning rod for divine clarity. The recalibration happening inside of you is not only for your own healing or maturity, it's because you are needed. You are part of a spiritual infrastructure that heaven is building for what's coming. Your transformation is not private, it is strategic. Your stillness is not weakness, it is preparation for war. This is why it has felt so intense. This is why your old life started breaking down without warning. This is why God refused to let you settle into your comfort zone. Because He was never preparing you to fit in, He was preparing you to lead out. Not in arrogance, not in ego, but in pure, undeniable authority born from surrender. What you're becoming is a prototype, a forerunner, a living signal flare of what heaven is doing in this hour. When you rise from this place, your very presence will confirm that God is real, that He is moving, and that He is choosing people who the world never expected. You will carry evidence in your eyes, in your voice, in your energy, not because you rehearsed it, but because you lived it. The stillness you're in now is not a timeout. It's a marking. You are being sealed for deployment, not to speak like everyone else, but to shift atmospheres without raising your voice. This is not about being impressive. It's about being appointed, and you have been appointed. So don't rush this process. Don't try to make it make sense. Just know that what's happening in you right now is a divine confirmation. Heaven is on the move, and you are the proof. Chosen one. Your voice is no longer what it used to be. Heaven is not just refining your words, it is reforging your entire expression. You're not being taught how to sound spiritual. You're being rebuilt so that every word you speak carries authority, not effort. You've spent years learning how to survive with your voice, how to soften yourself to avoid rejection, how to speak cautiously to avoid triggering others, how to stay small just to stay safe. That season has ended. The fire of God is now touching your throat, your language, your tone, your delivery. This isn't about eloquence. It's about weight. Your words are becoming weapons, not violent, but surgical, not reactive, but intentional. You will begin to notice that your vocabulary changes, not because you force it, but because your spirit can no longer agree with powerlessness. You'll try to speak the way you used to, using fear-based language, apologetic statements, anxious disclaimers, and the words will feel heavy, incompatible, untrue. That's because the atmosphere of heaven now governs your voice. Your mouth has been redisciplined by the Holy Spirit. You won't be able to curse what God is blessing, especially not yourself. You won't be able to speak in doubt when God is establishing you in truth. The habits of negative self-talk, over-explaining or over-apologizing, they will dissolve not through self-control, but through rewiring. Because your biology, your nervous system, your emotional center, they are all aligning now with the voice of your true identity. Soon you'll speak without second-guessing. You'll declare without fear. You'll bless without hesitation. You won't need to hype yourself up. You won't need to rehearse your confidence. Because confidence will not be something you perform. It will be something you embody. And as your voice changes, the tests will come. The old triggers will return not to defeat you but to confirm the transformation. You'll be placed back into familiar rooms with familiar pressures, and the spirit within you will respond differently. You won't collapse. You won't flinch. You'll feel a calm. You don't recognize it first, but that calm is clarity. The panic that used to rise in your chest won't find a foothold anymore. The fear that used to blur your mind will fall flat. You'll hear the old voices trying to provoke you, but they'll sound distant, almost hollow, because they no longer have an entry point. The hooks are being removed. The buttons are being disconnected. The reflexes are being rewritten. This is what it means to be remade, not just in thought, but in response. You won't need to memorize scriptures to protect yourself. You'll embody them. You won't need to defend your progress. You'll become the proof. God has not given you a better personality. He has given you a voice forged in silence, trained by fire, and marked by stillness. So don't be surprised when you walk into places that used to intimidate you and you now feel still. Don't question it when your voice starts saying things you never practiced, but they come out with divine weight. That's not pride. That's heaven speaking through a yielded vessel. The old you would have backed down, over-explained, tried to please. The new, you will stand, speak, and command. This is not a new communication style. It's a spiritual weapon being released through your mouth, and you are learning how to wield it not through noise but through knowing. Chosen one, something sacred is happening to your perception. Your eyes are not just opening in the natural, they are being recalibrated in the spirit. What once looked normal will now seem hollow. What used to confuse you will suddenly become clear. You are no longer seeing through the lens of trauma or assumption. Heaven is rewiring your sight, so you can see not as man sees but as God sees. This gift of spiritual clarity isn't about suspicion, it's about truth. You're being trained to discern the difference between noise and substance, between behavior and motive, between chaos and calling. You will begin to feel this in conversations. You'll hear what's not being said. You'll pick up on atmospheres, on hidden agendas, on divine appointments wrapped in ordinary people. What others miss you will sense. What others dismiss you will recognize. This is prophetic sight, not sensationalism, not fantasy, but accurate spiritual alignment. It's the ability to see with holy perspective. You won't just react to what's happening, you'll respond to why it's happening. That's not intuition, that's revelation, and it's being deposited into you right now. But it doesn't stop there. Your night hours are becoming sacred ground. As your natural body rests, your spirit is being called into divine classroom. Dreams will no longer be random fleeting images. They will become instruction. You will begin to wake up with direction, blueprints, warnings, assignments. Names will come to you. Places you've never been will appear with detail. Feelings that seemed irrelevant will carry weight. That's because your dream realm is no longer subconscious. It's spiritual communication. Keep a journal by your bed. Pay attention to the details that linger after sleep. The colors, the emotions, the symbols. They are not leftovers from yesterday. They are encoded messages from heaven. You are being trained in silence to move in power when awake. What seemed like confusion will now unfold like a scroll over 24 to 72 hours. Don't rush the meaning. Sit with it. Ask. Wait. Revelation will follow. This is how God speaks to the chosen ones. When the world is quiet, when your defenses are down, when your spirit is ready to listen without filter, you are being given access to the strategies of heaven, and not just for yourself. These dreams, these visions, these insights, some of them will be for others. You are being marked as a messenger, a translator of spiritual language, a receiver of divine instruction. So take your dreams seriously. Take your sight seriously. God has trusted you with windows into his mind. What you see now is not imagination, it's assignment. The sensitivity that once overwhelmed you is being sharpened into precision. What once made you fragile will now make you prophetic. Chosen one. This is not evolution, it is emergence. What you are stepping into is not a better version of your old self. It is the unveiling of the real you, the one heaven has been shaping in silence. God has not simply improved you, He has rebuilt you. You are not rising from this stillness as someone slightly stronger, slightly wiser, slightly more focused. No, you are rising as someone entirely new. The false layers crafted by pain, fear, rejection, and survival have been stripped away, and what remains is pure identity, unshakable authority, and divine clarity. You are not healing your old self. You are stepping into your original design. This stillness, this sacred pause was not about fixing the cracks. It was about tearing down the entire structure that could no longer carry the weight of your calling. And now what heaven has constructed within you is holy, precise, and unstoppable. You have been formed in the secret place so you can emerge with strength in public places. You have been hidden not to be forgotten, but to be preserved for such a time as this. And when you walk out of this, you will not walk alone. Heaven has already dispatched angelic assistants on your behalf. They will go before you, beside you, and behind you. You may already feel it. The quiet stillness around you, the shift in atmosphere, the presence that carries no fear but undeniable power. These are not your emotions. These are confirmations. You are being escorted by glory. God is not sending you without protection. He is surrounding you with it. The world you return to will not be the same because you are not the same. You will notice how the old fears no longer grip you, how the old wounds no longer speak. You will move differently, anchored, assured, steady. The thoughts that used to spiral will now pause before they even begin. The words you speak will carry weight, not because you try harder, but because you are now in alignment. The fire within you is not unstable, it is governed. Your heart is no longer fragile, it is fortified. Your spirit is no longer reaching, it is ready. You did not come through this simply to feel better. You came through it to carry power. The kind of power that doesn't need a microphone to be heard. The kind of power that shifts rooms not through volume but through presence. You are the key for others because you went first. What you endured in silence will be someone else's deliverance. The clarity you fought for will become someone else's compass. You didn't just survive the process, you were transformed by it. And now, you are evidence that heaven touches earth through people. From this point on, you will no longer operate from adrenaline. You will move with precision. You will speak, not from insecurity, but from identity. You will not question whether you are called. You will walk like one who knows they were chosen. Your time in hiding was not punishment. It was preparation. And now God is saying, rise.